Which Tacoma is the best Tacoma? Is it the first generation, the fourth generation, or does it fall in between? Which one is the best? Today, we're gonna find out.
What's up, guys? I'm Colby. I'm the owner of this 4th gen. Got a covert bumper, full skids, 35s. We're gonna compare them to the other generations and see how it does.
Hey guys, I'm Sebastian with Tacoma Lifestyle, and today I am driving our 3rd gen Toyota Tacoma. It is a 2017 TRD Pro that has the naturally aspirated V6. This truck has no tunes, but it has a lot of add-ons. We're on stage 7 Icon suspension and 33-inch tires, as well as other protection bits, a winch, a rooftop tent, full lighting, and a snorkel. She's definitely not the fastest one in the fleet, but she's a true off-roader, and we've taken a lot of time to make sure she is a true proven off-roader. So I'm excited to show you guys what she can do today.
Hey guys, it's Jordan from Tacoma Lifestyle. Today I have my 2014 Toyota Tacoma TRD Offroad 2nd gen Tacoma. It's got the 4.0 liter V6. 33-inch tires. Got a couple of things going on with this truck. I have a roof rack, tent, I have a rear tire swing out. Not too much weight on this truck though, so I think it's got a good chance against the 3rd gen and the 1st gen. We're just gonna see. No other tunes or mods have been done to this truck other than what you see here. So we're gonna see how it does today against all the generations of Tacoma.
What's up, guys? My name is John, also known as TRD Timmy. This is my 1st gen Tacoma with nearly 250,000 miles. It is fully built out, sitting on 33s. It's heavier than snot, and I'm sure it's gonna be dead last, but I can guarantee that it's the most reliable one here.
So we know that each one of these Tacomas that are behind me are built up pretty big, and the one that has the least amount of modifications is the one with the turbo. We're gonna start off today with a drag race. This really today is about comparing a truck that we all know and have had 4 generations. Let's see what we can do with it.
Okay, is everybody ready? That 410's making me nervous, but I'll do okay because Colby's got 85,000 pounds on me. I'm not talking about the truck, I'm talking about his status. 2nd gen is ready. 3, 2, 1, go, 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 go. Well, that win turned out as we expected. Big surprise, 4th gen win. All right, let's move on to the off-road test. So there's a little trail up here ahead. Everyone's just gonna follow in line and drive it the first time through in their Tacoma, and then everyone's gonna test drive the 4th gen to see what they think.
up, guys? I'm the owner of the first gen Tacoma. We're about to go drive the 4th gen for the very first time. This is the first time I've really ever been behind the wheel of one. We're about to do the same segment up the mountain that we just did in the first gen to kind of see what the difference and how it feels. I'm really excited to see like the new technology and the powertrain and what the difference is there. So I mean, like immediately, are you going? I mean, there's so much like technology, the digital gauges, like everything in the first gen is so analog.
Oh yeah.
That it won't tell you any of this. Like the TPMS, it doesn't have, like you get check engine and that's about it.
And that's it. That's all the warning it gives you. It could be anything.
So, I mean, it feels a lot wider, a lot bigger. I really like the feel of the steering wheel. But yeah, I'm excited to see kind of how the power feels going up and over this.
For sure. So your first thoughts right away, what is the biggest difference? Technology?
Yeah, a lot of technology. I mean, the screen's huge.
Right, that is big.
All the digital gauges. It feels like the hood is really long and wide, and it seems really hard to like see over it.
Yeah, I could see that.
But the hybrid motors are really nice. That turbo spool, it's pretty crazy.
Sounds nice.
It does. It sounds really good.
And I mean, this thing is turning 35s right now, 35 mud drains.
It's turning them pretty easy too. Good throttle control. That's one thing about like having the naturally aspirated. There's no like boost kick in.
Yeah.
That you can kind of judge how things are going. But yeah, I mean, it's really smooth actually, the throttle response. But yeah, this would be one downside right here. It's just that you're trying to peep over this hill and the hood is massive.
Can't see where the trail is.
You can't see where you're going. And that's where like all the technology of the cameras and stuff would come into play. But I mean, it's still a smaller truck yeah, the braking's really nice, very firm, holds really well. I love the tilt angle on there too, so you can see like the degree pitch, side to side and forward and back. I think that's really nice and handy to have.
That's a really cool thing that they have. That started with the 3rd gen, and I'm really happy to see that they carried that over into the new generation.
Yeah, that's really cool. You can see the angle you're going, and it'd be really nice for leveling out your truck, like if you're camping.
Oh, for sure.
But overall, I think it's a very nice truck. I mean, the interior feels really solid. There's no rattles. I would definitely get one if I could.
So does that mean the 1st gen's got to go?
I don't think I could get rid of the 1st gen. I think I would miss it too much. There's something about just the simplicity behind it.
For sure.
That is really fun. And a lot of people love how vintage it is and the heritage theme behind it. But
oh yeah.
I like it a lot. I'd put it on my list to buy.
All right, Jordan. So coming from your 2nd gen to the 4th gen, jumping up 2 generations, what's the biggest difference right off the bat?
So biggest difference, well, there's a couple things. First thing is we
Back.
just barely,
The
seatbelt, which I need to put on. But there we go. But just getting on this trail, the instant torque. So torque comes in at like 1,700 RPM, I believe, on this. And it's a lot higher in my 2nd gen Tacoma. So that is like the biggest thing off the bat that I noticed. And then just the technology in here. Like we got a digital gauge cluster. We got this massive 14-inch screen. Just a ton of like digital goodies in this thing, which is just crazy.
On your gauge cluster, you have pitch and roll, which is awesome.
Yeah, and then you also get the boost gauge, which everyone talks about how this engine's not gonna be able to take boost, but I'm not even using any boost on this right now, and it is just doing great. It's been at 0 the entire time. I also have no idea where the front end of the truck is.
That is a big kind of issue with these. Is the front end is a little different.
Oh, okay, I think
I go passenger or driver.
Yeah. Yeah, the front end on this is huge.
A lot bigger than yours.
Oh yeah. Like on mine, you can see the end. Like it's not like a 1st gen Tacoma. I know Timmy talked about how he can see his bull bar.
Yeah.
And that's the front end of his truck. I can't see the complete front end of my truck, but this definitely does feel a little bit longer than even like a 3rd gen Tacoma, which I'm sure you probably feel the same way driving this.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, just the technology. I love what they did with the interior though. Like coming from a 2nd gen, the 2nd gen interior is just, oh, it looks like one of the sensors is freaking out. The 2nd gen interior is that like mid 2010s interior, like gray, really dull and boring. It's just not a lot going on with it.
Right.
This is like that kind of
Boom.
futuristic, like really nice looking interior. You get to push the start, which is awesome. I love that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When he first got this 4th gen, and Colby did, got in it the first time, I hated all these blue accents. Like hated.
Yeah.
But honestly, they're not that bad.
They're not that bad. I'm still not the biggest fan of them. I think it's just like a TRD Sport option, and I think they're just trying to differentiate it from the TRD Offroad. With that being said, this being a TRD Sport, you don't get a locking rear diff, which I don't know. Some people that's going to be a deal breaker. Like for me, I really like having the Offroad, just because of the locking rear diff. But yeah, and even this, the pitch and roll sensors were really nice on here. But yeah, look, I don't know if you can tell, but we are not using the turbo at all. There's 0 boost on that. This is just going up on its own.
And it's important to add that this thing is currently turning 35s.
Yeah.
Mud
there we go,
trains.
the boost coming in. Yeah, and you honestly don't know that this is not like the stock tire. Like it feels stock, which is just crazy. You could probably, I know some people have done 37s on these things. I don't know if I would do 37s on them.
I think 35.
35 seems like to be a good number. But yeah, and it just feels like really nice. The one thing that I don't know if I love it or hate it yet, on the 2nd gen, you have a really connected feel with like the steering. I can feel every bit of suspension working, like you just have that feedback. That's something in the 3rd gen and the 4th gen that's kind of been dialed back. It's a little bit more of an electronic feel. I don't know, some people like that, some people hate it on it. I guess it means like if you are really romping on this thing, you don't really freak out, feel like everything's going wrong. It just feels more planted.
Gives you that little extra courage to do a little more.
Yeah. And even then you got like wireless charging. We got the AC going. We got one of my seat heaters on. It's like really cold today, really cold and windy, and it's just really comfortable. We got the sunroof here.
That's a nice option for sure.
But yeah, 4th gen Tacoma is honestly like, I think Toyota really listened to everybody with the new one, and I'm like, they really wanted to off-road and overland it, and they made it easy for people to do that. Like fitting bigger tires, like on the 3rd gen it's really hard. 2nd gen it's really hard. 1st gen it's really hard. This, like, I think Colby just did a little bit of trimming, right?
That's it. Without any trimming, it put these 35s on, and granted it couldn't turn very well, but with minimal trimming, it fully turns these 35s.
Yeah, exactly. And like putting a roof rack on, like you just have to take a couple clips off at the top and you're done there. Like they just listened to the community when building this. And I know a lot of people don't like that 4-cylinder turbo, but honestly, like it's great. And like you're not using boost half the time. Like it does enough, and it makes more power, and it's more efficient, and it's not Toyota's first time like building a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Like this is an engine that's been in other vehicles. Like it's reliable. Like we've seen it be reliable so far. So like I just don't understand the hate behind it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I love this truck. I think that one day I would like to get one. So then the big question is would you sell your 2nd gen for one?
See, that's hard. I've gone back and forth between it. I really like the 4th gen and like how easy it is to overland. I think I would, but at the same time, like my 2nd gen, like I'm having to like figure out ways to make tires fit or figure out how to put a roof rack on. Like there's things that are fun about it. Like I've made it my own because I've had to make the adjustments to make these things fit, right? And I also love how analog it is. Like there's no digital gauge cluster. The only like digital thing I have in the truck is the infotainment system, which honestly
is barely digital.
In those early 2000s or like late 2010 Toyota vehicles, it's crap. It doesn't work half the time.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. You barely notice it's there. But I kind of like that analog feel of the 2nd gen. I do think I would switch though, just because of how good this truck looks, how awesome. I love hearing like the blow off valve on the turbo when you kind of get on the gas. And it just like feels like a more livable like off-road vehicle that you could have. So I don't know. I'm really impressed with what Toyota did with this car. Like it feels great. It feels like a Toyota. We've been over this before where like the gas, the brake, the steering all feels very familiar.
It's a Toyota.
It's a Toyota. You can still see out of it. There's not a lot of blind spots. The hood is big, but not a lot of blind spots. I've been in a Nissan Frontier Pro 4X, and everything feels really small in there. You can't really see out of it. They kept all the sight lines really good, and yeah, really great product by Toyota, honestly.
Okay, so right off the bat, there's an obvious tech upgrade from the 3rd generation to this current generation, which is cool.
Yep.
I'm excited to see how it handles
You
going
might
up this.
want to put it in 4 high. That's what I did. Just let it crawl up.
Okay.
So it's a little different.
Oh, yeah, you
click
gotta-
the side.
You gotta push in the side, click it over. That's cool.
But it's nice. It's all electronic, easy,
It is cool.
already engaged. Yeah, it's pretty easy. So
I like the way the steering wheel feels. This is like the same steering wheel that they did in the Tundra too. It's
yeah,
it's a cool upgrade,
Yep.
I think, for sure. I'm really curious to see on how it handles going up this kind of thing with like with a turbo, just because, you know, with naturally aspirated it's a little different.
let's watch it and see what, like, I know it doesn't look very steep on video, but it actually is quite a vertical grade. And it's putting us at almost 30 degrees up, so
Yeah, wow. I mean, it climbs right up this. There's no hesitation at all. You can see that the turbo is engaging just a little bit to give it help where it needs to.
yeah.
Same thing in the 3rd generation that we have in this is you can't really see over the hood.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just the Tacoma in general is always like that. I would swing right, and then now you're pretty good. Go straight down.
I mean, overall, it walked up that. Like, there was no skid or anything. It's pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah, I came from the 5th gen 4Runner, and it just feels like the power is smoothly delivered in this Tacoma compared to that. And I'm not sure how it compares to the 3rd gen that you drive, but I do feel that it just is like an easier delivery of the power.
For sure, the
Rather
throttle response is a lot
Yeah.
better.
Yep.
And the brakes are incredible. Wow, you really have to barely touch on this thing to get it to stop. It's impressive, actually. So overall, I mean, I think it's a total upgrade from the previous generation in all aspects.
Do you feel like it does take a little more? Because everyone talks about the 4-cylinder being less powerful and all this.
Yeah.
Personally, I mean, I've driven a couple 3rd gens. I don't feel like it has less power.
Not
and
at
you
all.
feel that torque that the turbo gives, and that low end torque is actually really nice when off-roading it like this.
For sure. I think a lot of people have given this truck a little bit of heat because of the 4-cylinder. But you forget what this truck is actually like meant for. It's a small truck that's really off-road capable. And really, when it comes to off-roading, you need power, and you also need to be mindful of your weight.
Yep.
Having a 4-cylinder turbo that puts out more horsepower than the previous naturally aspirated V6, I think that this was the no-brainer way to go when it came to the Tacoma and its off-road performance.
Yeah, I agree. I love it.
Yeah, great truck. Might have to get one. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Really, these trucks none of them are fast. But they all do one thing really well. They're all off-roaders. Each one of these builds is different tire sizes, different lightings, different options that their driver has decided to put on. The real beauty of all of this is you put these things together and they take you places that you couldn't go normally. Really what we made this video for is to show you that no matter what you drive, no matter what you put into your car, as long as you're getting out there and going and doing it and having fun, that's all that matters. Anyway, guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to follow all of our media channels, and we'll see you guys next time.